Hello, it's Sonia here at The Pretty Stitch. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time joining me, I'm so happy to have you here. So today is Tuesday, and that means it's Tunisian Tuesday. So today we are going to be doing a Tunisian project, but we're going to be going over a technique. A couple weeks ago, somebody in my knit crochet group asked me how you change colors doing Tunisian crochet. And so I thought that this project would feature that. So we are just going to be making a little coaster, or you could probably even use it as a scrubby. And we are going to learn how to change colors. It's really simple. So to begin, I have chained 17, and obviously you want to have two colors. I'm using an H hook or a 5mm hook, and with this project you can use a regular crochet hook, no Tunisian hook needed. Just want to make sure you have a straight crochet hook. It's okay if it has the little bump in the middle, it really doesn't affect the project, and I just like to pop a rubber band on the end. And then obviously you need a contrasting color, so this is a failed project, so I'm going to use it for this project here, so hopefully I have enough. And so let's get started. So our first row is our setup row, and we're working in the back bump of the chain in the second bump from our hook, and we're going to insert our hook in that second bump and pull up a loop. And we're just going to continue across, pulling up loops, and at the end of our row we should have 17 loops on our hook. And with Tunisian crochet, it is always worked in two parts. Each row is worked in two parts. So the first part of the row is called the forward pass, and that is when you're putting your stitches on your hook like we're doing right now. And then the second part of the row is called the return pass, and that is when you take the stitches off and then you have one row complete. So it might sound like a lot, but it's really not too bad. And if you've never done Tunisian crochet before, I do have a complete playlist that goes over the basics on how to get started, and I can place that link in the description box and you can check that out. Okay, so I have my 17 loops on my hook. Now we need to work them off. As I said, each row is worked in two parts. So to work them off, we're going to yarn over. We're going to pull through one loop and yarn over, pull through two for the rest of the row. And then row one will be complete. Okay, so there we go, there is row one. So let's begin row two. We're still just using this is going to be our main color here, because we're going to work like a little border. So in the second bar, so if you look at this, there's vertical bars across our first row. So in our first vertical bar right here, we're going to work a purl stitch. So if you've never done purl, I do have a link that goes over in detail how to work the purl stitch, but your yarn is in front. You insert your hook through that bar, yarn over, and pull up a loop. So it creates a little purl, a little nub in the front. And we're just going to do this across. And purl stitches will help our coasters to lay flatter because we're going to be working a stitch. I love doing it for color work. It looks so neat and clean, but it tends to curl a little bit, so purl stitches help with the curling. And because it is a coaster, we want it to lay more flat. Okay, so we are almost at the end of our row. So if you look at the end of the row, the last stitch, it kind of looks like a chain. We're going to insert our hook in the middle of that chain and yarn over and pull up a loop. And we should still have 17 loops on our hook for our forward pass for row two. So we are going to yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2 for the rest of the row, and each return pass is going to be the same. Okay, so there is row 2 complete. So now we're going to work row 3. We're going to get into some of the color work. So our first 2 stitches, we are going to work purl stitches because these are going to be our border stitches. So we're just working 2 Tunisian purl stitches. So there we go. So now we are going to start with some of the color work. So what we're going to do is we're going to work Tunisian simple stitch, and we're going to carry our yarn across. We're just going to do a simple color work pattern. So I'm going to insert my hook in that first or that next vertical bar, and then I'm going to grab my other color here, my yellow, and I'm just going to lay it over my hook like so, and I'm just going to pull that through. It's as simple as that. So I'm going to insert my hook in my next stitch, and now I want to use red again. So here is the red in the back. I'm just going to pick up that red and do the same thing, working Tunisian simple, pull up the loop. And I'm going to go in the next one, and now I'm going to pick up the yellow and pull up the loop. So we're just going to have little floats across the back here. And we're going to, now there's other ways of working color work with Tunisian crochet in the round. I don't love doing Tunisian crochet in the round, so I don't know if I'll ever feature that on here. It's just, it uses up a lot of yarn, I feel like, and ends, and it's just not my favorite. But that's okay. If you know these basic stitches, then you'll be able to, you know, pretty much do whatever you want with Tunisian crochet. It's very versatile. So we're just alternating yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow, and now we're picking up red all the way across. So when I'm pulling up my other color, I'm not pulling super tight. You want your floats to look pretty evenly matched there. So you don't want to have like loops hanging out, but you don't want to pull it so tight that it messes up your work. It adds extra tension on your work that you don't want. So just have that nice happy medium. Don't overthink it. So like there you can see it's a little bit too much of a loop, so I'm just gently gonna pull that guy and it's taken care of. All right, so I'm going to work one more stitch with yellow in Tunisian simple. And now I have 3 stitches to go, and we are going to do Tunisian purl with my red. So I need to have my yarn in front and work 2 Tunisian purl stitches. 1, 2, and then we're going to work in that stitch right here that looks like a chain, inserting that hook right in the center of that, pulling up a loop. So there is the first half of our row 3, our forward pass. So now we're going to work these off, and I'm going to show you how you need to work off, because you do need to work off in the colors so that it looks correct. All right, so first off we have red. So yarn over, pull through 1. So this is our main color. Next is yarn over, pull through 2 with the red. Oops, we got a split. There we go. Yarn over, pull through 2 with the red. All right, so now we're going to need to pull through with yellow. So to know that you need to pull through yellow, so if we look at it, you'll know which color to pick up when here is the color we just did, and then here's the next one. So when this is a different color, whatever color this is the yarn that you need to use right here. So that is yellow. So I'm going to pick up my yellow right here and just yarn over and pull through 2 of those guys. Now what I like to do is, see, you can kind of see a little hole there with the red, so I just take the red, give that a little bit of a tug. Again, not too tight, and it just evens up the tension with the work. Okay, so now let's take a peek and let's see what color we need to do next, which I'm sure you can figure out. So this is the yellow we just did. The next color in the row is red, so now we need to pick up red. So here is my red, yarn over, pull through 2. And I'm just going to gently pull on that yellow just to neaten that up. Now I need to pick up my yellow and pull through. And pull through the red. And we just do that across. Now you can see this guy is a little bit loose. That is because where we joined the color, you just pull that tail a little bit. And also when it's time for weaving in ends, you can weave that in to help close up any gap, you know, that you might have there. So now we just finish up the rest of this row with red. And that's as simple as that with changing colors. So we're going to repeat row 3. So yarn in front, we're going to work 2 purl stitches. And now it's time for yellow. So we're going to insert my hook in the yellow. I'm going to find the yellow and work that simple stitch. Just see, you can see that pulling out a little bit. Again, just fix that there, it's not a big deal. All right, and we're going to pick up the red and just continue to alternate back and forth, yellow, red, and then the last 3 stitches are going to be red. So I am going to do that and I will meet you back. Okay, so there is my forward pass of row 4, and we're going to work them off just like we did for row 3. Yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2. And now I know I need to pick up that yellow and pull that through and just work my colors as needed. Okay, so there is row 4, so now you can start to see the colors pop out. So you can just keep going working row 4, but I think I'm going to mix up this color pattern a little bit. And a lot of times when you're doing color work, you will have a chart. It probably will look like a graph, and then on the graph you'll have a key, and the key will tell you that let's say you have red blocks. So, you know, the red blocks might mean that you need to work either red or that's your main color or whatever, it's pretty easy to read off of that. And then usually each block represents one stitch. So let's begin row 5. So we're going to work 2 purl stitches with our main color, which is the red. And now, because I want to mix this up, I'm going to start, instead of using yellow, I'm going to start with red. So I'm going to work Tunisian simple with red, and then my next stitch is going to be yellow. So it's just going to be opposite. So you can have a lot of fun doing color work with Tunisian crochet. Again, I love doing color work with Tunisian crochet, especially doing it in simple stitch. I think it looks super neat, super clean. Sorry, my battery died. So here is the first half of row 5, our forward pass. So now let's work these off, same as we've been doing. Yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2 for the rest of the row, and just make sure you pick up the colors, the right colors there. So now I need to pick up yellow. So then for row 6, we're going to be repeating row 5, and then rows 3, so we're going to repeat rows 3 through 6 for the pattern, and I'm not sure for how many rows, I'll let you know. And then we will finish up this coaster or scrubby. I probably will use it as a scrubby, but whatever you want to use it for, or just as a practice swatch. But I love little Tunisian scrubbies. I use them all the time. Or yeah, I have Tunisian coasters too. This is cotton yarn, so that's what I suggest. But if you're just practicing, you can use whatever yarn you want. Okay, so here we go. Here's my little scrubby or coaster. So I ended up working up to row 12, so I just repeated rows 3 through 6 and ended on a row 12. And so now we are going to work row 13. So I'm going to use my main color here, which is red. So I'm just going to work 2 purl stitches. And now I'm just going to work Tunisian simple across until I get to my last 3 stitches. So just like we did with the color work, but we're just working with the one color. Okay, so now I have my last 3 stitches, so I'm just going to work 2 purl stitches. And now I'm going to work that last stitch in that chain. And now we work off these loops like normal. Yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2 for the rest of the row. And now we can cut the other color. I'm going to cut the yellow here. I don't need it anymore. Just to get it out of the way. So you can see all the floats on the back there. Okay, so let's work row 14. So row 14 is going to be a repeat of row 2 here, where we just worked Tunisian purl stitches across. So that's what we are going to do, yarn in front and working Tunisian purl all the way across. And then when you get to the end of your row, you'll work in that stitch that looks like a chain, and then you'll work your stitches off through the normal return pass. So I'm going to go do that and I will meet you back. Okay, so we finished up row 14. So now we're going to bind these stitches off. We're going to finish this guy off. So what we're going to do is in that first stitch, we're working Tunisian simple, insert our hook, yarn over, and we're basically going to be working like a slip stitch like you would in regular crochet. So you want to watch your tension. So you're pulling through both of those loops. And you're going to go in the next stitch and just pull through both of those loops all the way across. So I said before, you want to watch your tension because it's easy for your bind off row to get a little tight, so you just want to watch yourself. Okay, so now we're at our last stitch. We're going to work in that chain there and finish that off. So now you can cut your yarn. And there we go. So we have our little coaster or scrubby. So this guy would need a little bit of a light block, but I think it turned out nice, and it's just a quick little color work project just so that you can learn how to do some color work with Tunisian crochet, so you can just kind of get the feel for the technique. So I hope you enjoyed this project, and if you did, please like and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.